wish this video could come in brighter spirits, but I know it's kind of bright outside, but at the time of this recording, we are in Redrum right now. And you know it's only red when things are, I don't even know the word for it. First and foremost, I want to say that I'm not answering my phone when I'm streaming. I am streaming the majority of the day, typically, because that's what I do. It's my source of entertainment. It's my way of being productive. It's multiple things at the same time. Unless your first name starts with the initial C, I don't plan on answering my phone. I'll tell you why. Typically, I don't reach out to people. I stopped doing that. Why? I'm not exactly sure. I think I just realized that people only care when it's convenient for them. I know for a fact there were multiple times in my life in general, but especially recently, where, for example, I'm streaming, minding my own business, in the middle of the night, not doing anything but streaming. How many times has it been where I stopped what I was doing to pick up the phone? Not only did I pick up the phone, I gave someone, let's say, really good advice. The word that they actually used to say about my advice was insightful. So I stopped what I'm doing to help you out. Typically, do I call people when I have something to talk about, when something's bothering me? No. You know why? Because I have this. This is what I have. So, not because I didn't have a choice or anything, but I don't go to therapy anymore. I probably should, but I don't. In my opinion, granted I'm not a trained professional, maybe part of me, even myself, feels like sometimes I can say whatever the fuck I want behind a screen. I mean, if everybody else can do it, why can't I do it? Yeah, so it's not that therapy wasn't working out. It was I think I exhausted its usefulness. So there's been other times where I'm sleeping, completely knocked out, probably because I was streaming late the night or even the morning before, where I stopped what I was doing, sleeping, and I responded to you because it sounded like it was an emergency. In my opinion, was it an emergency? No, it was not. But hey, let's just call a spade and say we have different definitions of what an emergency is. I'm just going to jump around the timeline here, but why does it take my ex-girlfriend to personally message other people to say my suicidal ideation became a suicidal attempt? Because before it wasn't serious, right? Because it wasn't an attempt, right? So it wasn't serious before, because it was just ideation, right? Is that how it works? So someone explain this to me. If you only have ideation, does it matter if there was an attempt or not? Was there an attempt before this? Probably. Did you not want to think about it because it was too real for you? Maybe. Why does it take someone else's concern to influence other people's concerns. No, okay. Don't get me wrong, okay? I appreciate and I'm grateful for the concern, the calls for attention on that particular hospitalization, on that particular suicide attempt. I appreciate it. I know, honestly, I really do. Where the fuck were you for the past how many hospitalizations before that? When there were other people who knew I was in the hospital. Why do you think I never reached out and asked, hey, can you visit me? Maybe because I knew that if I don't want to be there, I doubt anyone else wants to be there either. But okay. It's one thing to be grateful. It's another thing to be grateful when it's convenient for you. When it concerns you, that's when things are important, right? That's when things matter. And people will wonder why I don't reach out to other people. This is exactly why I don't reach out to other people. At what point does it have to be serious to be serious? Someone tell me this. If I go out of my way to cater to your mood, to your things going on in your life at that point, and when I do reach out to people that I've partaken in a certain activity in the past with, and I was wondering if they want to partake again, when I reach out and you respond negatively, literally days after I gave you some insightful advice, that's how you respond to me. You can't be like, hey, thanks, but I'm not interested. I don't like it. It's not really my thing. It's nothing against you, but I just don't want to. Do I think there's something wrong with that statement that I just said? No, I do not. Do you want to know why? Because it's polite. So let me bring up something else, right? Jumping around the timeline. If you're being harassed, your definition of harassed, to the point where you're getting random phone calls, let's say it's an advertisement, consistently random phone calls that bother you, they're usually advertising, for example, a product, right? Let's say they're trying to sell you a product because you're involved in their company as a consumer, as a client, etc. Now, if they're trying to advertise to sell some Apple Watches to you, right? I don't own an Apple Watch, nor do I want one. My point being is, isn't it simple to fix that small problem by just blocking that phone number or asking that, can you take me off the calling list? It's done. It's over. Now, at what point does someone try to solve a small problem by creating an even bigger problem? So get this right. This person's solution to stop being harassed about buying an Apple Watch is to purchase not one but two Apple Watches. That was their solution. And in their defense, they said they weren't going to do anything with them. They were just going to return them. Under my account. I should have specified that, right? So this company, right, selling these Apple Watches, I have an account with them. I have an account with them. Not anybody else. Anyone else who orbits around me and shares that account, do they have a stake in how things go? Of course. Do they need to recognize I let you be on my account? Yes. So, when you use that privilege to do something without my approval concerning my account, the one I have to pay for, then there's a problem. You created an even bigger problem trying to solve a small problem with a small solution that required small effort. Am I the only one that sees something wrong with this? Am I the only one? So, now, there's someone in the household I would say I probably, I would like to think we have mutual respect for each other, but, I don't know. That's how it feels like sometimes, at least. What I don't think people understand is this, right? Especially other members of the household need to understand this. Someone in this household, right, has around, I don't know the facts or whatever, but around a 6th grade education by third world standards. They never graduated high school or the equivalent of a high school diploma, degree, whatever you want to call it. Yet, this person, again, who I said I try to have mutual respect for, knows how to do things that a lot of other people don't know how. A lot of handiwork stuff, a lot of things with tools, a lot of things with fixing things, building things, etc. And one day, I saw some like, I don't know, they're like blueprint stuff. They were pieces of paper with notes on them. I recognized certain geometry stuff on it. For example, there was a formula for a triangle, half of base times height. This very room I'm in right now, the red room, was built by that person I try to have mutual respect for. A person with a 6th grade education. And other people in the household have the audacity to say that because so-and-so didn't go to school for it, they might not know what they're doing. Now, I mean, let's be real here. Like, I get it. You don't get along. I get it. You don't have any intention of getting along. You don't even want to try. I get it. You know, growing up with the teenage angst that you might still have with you, you really don't like anybody. You probably don't want to interact with anyone. I don't blame you. And, you know, as juvenile as it might seem, you probably hate your own parents. You probably don't like your parents, your grandparents, whoever you want to call them. Newsflash, that's not my problem. That's your problem. It sounds like a personal problem. It has nothing to do with me. But when I have to hear about it, now it has something to do with me. With no approval of my own, you suddenly got me involved in this. There's so many things else I can say about, I don't want to say the stupidity of the situation, but if the word fits, I mean, how gullible do you have to be? But hey, right, it's your money, right? That you're currently borrowing from everyone else in the household. Anyway, well, that's, I know we spent a large part on that, but large part of the video on that. We're going back to what we were talking about. Yeah, unless the first letter of your name starts with a C, I'm not answering the phone when I'm streaming anymore. I mean, as a matter of fact, you'd be lucky if I give you a text back. This is, I know I said this before, this is exactly why I don't reach out to other people. Because it puts you in a vulnerable spot and you get disrespected. That's not, I don't like to associate myself with that kind of stuff. I don't think anybody does. But again, because there's a screen between us, right? That makes it okay to do whatever the fuck you want, say whatever the fuck you want, does it? Okay. Well, I'm glad I gave you such good advice, and you reciprocated that with the sarcastically sounding awesome advice that I got. Okay. It is not my problem if you do not have the self-control to, let's say, gamble on a responsible basis because you don't trust yourself. That's not my problem. So, all you have to do is create your own account and stop coming to me with that shit. Did I realize that me helping you with that would bring this situation right now? This Redrum? Had I known that, would I have helped you using my account to help you? Would I have done that? No, I would not have. I don't think anything I said in this entire video is outlandish. I don't think it is exaggerated. I think it is perfectly suitable given the situation and circumstances within the past few days. I stopped what I was doing to cater to your problem. Nothing that had anything to do with me. This was your own problem. You came to me for advice for. And then when I reach out, this is what I get in response. Okay. I just don't get it. And I'll say this 1,000 times and I'll probably go back on it. This is why I don't reach out. This is why I don't plan things anymore. This is why I let things come to me. Because when I reach out, let me put it this way. When you reach out to me, how many times am I like, oh, I can't do that right now, can we do this on so-and-so date? How many times do I try to accommodate you according to your schedule versus my schedule? How many times am I just generally nicer than you? And I would love to say it's not about being kind. It's not about being a good friend, being a good person. It's not about that. What it's about is that when I'm behind a screen, this is my platform. This is my screen. So if you want to get flamed, if you don't want to get red roomed, then don't come to me for advice next time. Don't come to me for that. Because when I reach out, this is the response I get back. Okay. Now let me tell a little story, alright? So a while back, especially in high school, right? I don't know what the fuck are we talking about high school for, but you know, it was a very difficult time for me. For a lot of people, it's a very difficult time. And I felt like, this is what I felt like I was. I felt like I was a parasite, right? I will latch on to someone and try to steal some of their positive energy to hopefully make me happier. I know that sounds fucked up completely, but that's what I did as a parasite. I went from host to host until I realized there was nothing that was going to come of that. It wasn't going to benefit me at all. It wasn't benefiting the host at all. So what was the point? And now that those parasitic days are over, we're here in Redrum because I guess someone was having a shitty day and they decided to take it out on me. And this is why I'm not answering the phone when I stream anymore. Do I stream the majority of the day? Yes, I do. Why? Because this is my form of therapy. I don't need to lay on a fucking couch telling someone else my problems that I can't fix myself. If I can't fix them, this is how I deal with them. So if you don't want to get flamed, then don't come to me with your shit that is worthy of getting flamed. Because this is my platform. And there's probably a lot of mutual people you know watching this right now who probably are aware of this platform, and that's why they don't do stupid shit like that. Because you will be flamed. There's no question in my mind that you will be flamed. If you push me to the point where you're flamed, then you probably deserved it. Because I went out of my way. I can't say this enough times. I went out of my way to answer your phone call when I was busy. Because it sounded serious. And I gave you really good advice. Instead, you come back at me with that. When I was being nice, I was offering, I was reaching out. And that's what I get back. Oh yeah. Alright. It is what it is, right? Like, it's okay when you ask for help, right? But when I reach out, borderline asking for help, it's not as important. When my ex-girlfriend has to reach out to people I know about a concern for something that happened, that probably happened, I know the word probably, but anyway, probably happened in the past. And you probably knew about it. And at the time, it wasn't important. Because you were just like, oh, nothing's going to happen. No, he'll be fine. Okay. I would like to end this video by referring to an incident that I heard that happened between someone I follow on Twitch by the name of Finster, right? He said that when he was taking a hiatus, a break from his, just chatting, streaming. I would love to do just chatting, but I don't have anyone to chat with. But that brings up another point, is that if it's really that important, you can find my Twitch channel somewhere in one of these links over here. So if it's really that important, you come to my chat and you ask for fucking help. You don't fucking call me up thinking that I'm going to just drop whatever I'm doing, even though I did, but now I learned my lesson, that I'm just going to drop whatever I'm doing to cater to you. It's not about being a good friend. It's about gratitude. I feel like I've said that multiple times in the past. I'm not expecting a thank you, but I'm expecting no disrespect. I don't think that's a lot to ask for. But anyway, so Finster, right? He was taking a hiatus, a break from streaming. And a lot of things happened. A lot of things happened during that break. He attempted suicide. He was going to use sleeping pills and some other medicine, if you want to call it that. And this is in a first world country, mind you. This is the United Kingdom. Like, this is first world. That's all I'm trying to say here. It's kind of interesting that arguably a lot of the suicidal tendencies of human beings in general come from people who live in first world countries. I just think it's kind of funny. But anyway, he attempted suicide, and he wrote letters that he was going to leave people, the people he was going to leave behind, arguably after he took his own life. I don't know his pronouns. I'm just going to say he, him, whatever. I should say they. I'll try to say they, but I always forget. Not intentionally, of course. He got to this one letter. I'm not saying I'm the same way. I'm saying I understand from his viewpoint. the last letter, one of the last letters that he was going to write to say goodbye to everyone else. And guess what happened? He couldn't write it because that it's not that it hits home or it's personal or anything. I just feel the emotion behind it. I'm not saying I can or cannot relate to it, but I understand. I understand where he's coming from. This took a turn I wasn't expecting it to take a turn to, but hey, whatever. The letter he couldn't write to, as you know, one of the last letters he was going to leave the people in his life with. Guess who that letter was supposed to be for? It was someone close to him. That last letter that he couldn't write was to his mom. He couldn't do it. He tried. He was ready to write it. The words never touched the paper. After that, he got up. He got out of that bathroom. And he went back to doing what he was doing. Because what else can you do after a situation like that? What else can you do? You gotta pick yourself up off the ground and learn from your mistakes. Learn from the mistakes of others. And you try not to let it happen. Try not to let it happen again. I'm just, I'm very disappointed. I'm a little depressed about it, a little bit aggravated about it, a little bit distracted about it. But I'm disappointed that I entertained the idea of helping someone and they couldn't even entertain the idea of understanding that I was reaching out, that I might have wasted 10 seconds of their life with that text message. Okay, this is why I don't reach out. I really don't have any tolerance for anyone else at the moment concerning their personal problems. If you're having personal problems, it's called personal for a reason. I don't understand how easy it is for some people. It's not even being about empathetic. It's not even about sympathetic. It's about being a good person. And I feel like just because people think that, oh, I'm volunteering at so-and-so place, or I'm donating so-and-so, whatever, that I can even direct this to myself. I'll be the first to say that. That gives you some sort of power. It gives you some sort of more respect than other people are deserving of. I'm guilty of this too. At least I can admit it. Yeah, that finished the story. It definitely hits home. But hey, what the fuck do I know? I'm one who's living it, right? Okay, thanks for listening, guys. I apologize, this Redrum video was supposed to be a lot more aggressive and a lot more angry, but maybe that's just what I'm feeling right now. Take care of yourselves and each other.